Money stress has a strange way of sticking around, even when income goes up, even when things look better on paper, even when you're doing what you were told would finally make life feel easier. A lot of people assume that earning more is supposed to make the worry disappear, but for many it doesn't, and understanding why is more important. My name is Ethan. Over the last few months, I've been quietly looking into why making more money so often fails to reduce financial stress. All right, why making more money so often fails to make life feel easier. I want you to picture a moment that might feel uncomfortably familiar. You get a raise, or maybe a new job. Your income finally goes up. For a few weeks, things feel lighter. You breathe a little easier. You think, okay, this is it. I'm finally going to feel less stressed about money. And then, slowly, almost quietly, that feeling fades. The bills still feel heavy. The anxiety comes back. You're still checking your account more often than you want to admit. And at some point, you catch yourself wondering, how am I making more money and still feeling this way? If you've ever felt that confusion, I want you to know something right away. You're not broken. You didn't mess up. And you're definitely not alone. Most of us grow up with a simple belief: more money equals less stress. It makes sense on the surface. Money pays bills. Money creates options. Money solves problems. So when we're struggling, we focus on earning more. And to be clear, income does matter. Not having enough money is incredibly stressful. That pressure is real. But here's where things get misunderstood. We assume that once we're earning enough, our nervous system will relax automatically. That security will just show up. But that's not how the human brain works. Your brain doesn't measure safety in numbers. It measures safety in expectations. And expectations have a strange habit of rising faster than income. When you start earning more, your life doesn't stay the same. Your standards shift. Your responsibilities grow. Your definition of normal quietly upgrades. Not because you're irresponsible, because you're human. Rent gets a little nicer. Groceries get a little better. You stop questioning certain expenses because they feel reasonable now. You're not being reckless, you're adopting. But every upgrade raises the baseline of what you now feel you need. So even though you're making more, your margin doesn't grow the way you expected. And without margins, stress doesn't leave. It just changes its shape. Instead of worrying about survival, you start worrying about maintenance, about losing what you've built, about falling backward, about keeping up with the life you've created. That fear can feel even heavier than the fear you had before, because now there's more to lose. Many people think this stress means they're failing, but often it means they're succeeding without changing how they relate to money. Comparison quietly makes this worse. You don't compare yourself to who you used to be. You compare yourself to a new group. Colleagues, friends, people earning something similar. Suddenly, progress feels average or invisible. The finish line keeps moving. Lifestyle inflation gets blamed a lot, but it's not a character flaw. It's a response to relief. When pressure eases, your brain looks for comfort. You spend to save time, to reduce friction, to feel normal. None of these decisions feel wrong on their own, but together they quietly absorb the extra income. So instead of buying freedom, you buy maintenance. More complexity follows. More bills, more subscriptions, more decisions. Your financial life becomes heavier, not lighter. And complexity creates anxiety, not because you can't handle it, but because your brain has more to track. There's another reason this stress lingers even when the numbers improve. Money doesn't just represent what you can buy. It represents how exposed you feel. When income goes up, expectations don't just rise externally, they rise internally. You start telling yourself you should be more responsible now, more prepared, more put together. So mistakes feel heavier. Uncertainty feels less acceptable. Before, you could blame the lack of money. Now, if something feels off, it feels personal. That pressure quietly tightens your relationship with money. You don't just want stability anymore. You feel like you're supposed to have it. And that supposed to creates tension. Because real financial security isn't a moment you arrive at. It's a feeling that develops slowly after repetition proves to your nervous system that things won't fall apart. That kind of trust takes time, and no raise can fast forward that process. Here's the shift most people miss. Money doesn't reduce stress by increasing income alone. It reduces stress by increasing margin. Margin is the space between what you earn and what you truly need to feel steady. Not what you want, not what you compare yourself to. Without margin, income is just motion. Once you see this, the goal changes. You stop asking, how can I make more money? And start asking, what actually makes me feel safe? That question changes everything. Because safety isn't exciting, it's boring. It's buffers, predictability, knowing a bad month won't turn into a bad year. And when people finally experience that kind of margin, something shifts. Money stops occupying their thoughts all day. Not because they're rich, but because their financial life can absorb stress without breaking. This doesn't mean you stop trying to grow. It means you let growth serve peace, not pressure. It means letting raises improve your margin before your lifestyle. It means sitting in good enough longer than feels impressive. It means noticing when spending is about relief, not desire. Often you're not buying things, you're buying a break, a sense of control, a moment of calm. Those needs are real. They just don't always need to be met with money. Financial success isn't what looks impressive, it's what lowers your anxiety. If you're making more money than you used to and still feel stressed, that doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're human in a system that constantly raises expectations. Relief doesn't always arrive when income does. Sometimes it comes later, once stability has time to catch up. You don't need to rush. You don't need to fix everything at once. Even small increases in margin can change how your body responds to money, and that matters more than any number ever could. You're not doing this wrong. You're learning where real security actually comes from. Take it slowly. Progress doesn't have to feel dramatic to be real, and calm progress is still progress.